What is chemistry? When you think of chemistry, what comes to your mind? Perhaps goggles and glassware, making measurements and mixing things together, explosions and mad scientists, and bubbling liquids of amazing colors are what you think of. These things are involved in chemistry, but there is so much more. Every moment of every day, we experience chemistry. It happens all around and within us. Chemistry occurs when we eat an apple. Tastes sweet, right? There is a chemical in the apple called fructose that is a sugar. Our bodies can't use this fructose for energy, however. A chemical reaction in our bodies changes that fructose to glucose during digestion. Glucose is also a sugar, but it's what our bodies can use to make energy. Do you like to eat cupcakes? The best ones are moist and soft, and if you look closely, there are tiny spaces within the cake that give cupcakes their spongy texture. How did those get there? Baking soda, chemically known as sodium bicarbonate, is a common ingredient in baked goods because when heated, it produces bubbles of carbon dioxide gas. As the carbon dioxide rises out of the batter in the oven, it causes the cake to fluff up, creating the little spaces in the cake itself. So far, we've given you examples of what chemistry can explain, but we didn't answer our initial question: what is chemistry? We talked about fructose and glucose and sodium bicarbonate. These are examples of molecules which are made up of tiny particles called atoms. Atoms make up all the stuff in the universe: leaves on the trees, the rocks, the gas in the stars. We call this stuff matter. The definition of matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. A book sitting on a desktop is an example of matter. It takes up space because you would need to move it to lay your hand or your phone in the exact same place. It has mass because it feels heavy in your hands. What about air? Is it an example of matter? The answer is yes. Fan yourself with your hand to cool yourself down. As you wave your hand, do you feel a breeze? You do, because your hand is pushing the molecules that make up air out of the way. Air also has mass. If you blow up a balloon and toss it in the air, it sinks to the ground. It also has mass. Chemistry is not just the study of matter. It is also the study of the changes that matter undergoes as it encounters changes in the environment. For instance, when you put a can of soda in the freezer and leave it there for a while, chances are it will explode and make a huge mess in the freezer. The water molecules expand when they encounter low temperatures inside the freezer. The cold causes them to change. When you heat baking soda, it decomposes and produces carbon dioxide. This is another example of how matter changes when environmental conditions change. Even when you mix things together, changes can be made. Tossing a lump of sodium into water can cause an explosion. Chemistry examines and explains these phenomena and so much more. Therefore, the definition of chemistry is the study of matter and the changes it undergoes. We study chemistry to understand our world, to predict how matter will change when the conditions surrounding it changes. Chemistry is not a new science, but began in ancient times. Back then, this science was called alchemy. Alchemists tried to change one form of matter into another, usually a common metal like lead, into a precious metal like gold. They were unsuccessful in their endeavors. Over time, this limited study blossomed into 5 branches of chemistry: organic, inorganic, biochemistry, analytical chemistry, and physical chemistry. Organic chemistry studies compounds that contain carbon. These are the molecules that make up our bodies and the food we eat. Inorganic chemistry focuses mostly on metals and on molecules that do not contain carbon. Biochemistry is the study of reactions that take place in living systems. Analytical chemistry is based on measuring and obtaining quantitative data or data that contains numbers. And physical chemistry focuses on such things as the bonding between atoms and the properties of particles and how they move in different environments. Although different, there is overlap among the disciplines. Most importantly, they are all different kinds of chemistry. All of these disciplines focus on the abstract nature of matter. They study the invisible world of atoms and molecules to explain why we see and experience the things that compose our world as they are.